we'll all agree that we need to diversify our investment portfolios. Most young people tend to diversify it by purchasing different stocks from different industries, different companies, also maybe adding some bonds, derivatives to their investment portfolio, but essentially try and invest in the stock market and diversify there itself. One thing that doesn't occur to people is diversifying by investing in gold. So you would have noticed that the prices for gold are inversely related to how the stock markets are doing. So when the stock markets fall, you'll notice gold prices rise, which is why maybe investing in gold is a good asset to have, just to be able to diversify your entire investment pool. Now, a lot of people also feel that they should not be investing in gold because their family probably has gold ornaments and jewelry which will be passed on to them, or they've collected some at the time of their marriage or are hoping to collect some at the time of their marriage. However, in my opinion, physical gold is not really the best way to be invested in gold for several reasons. One, there is about 20 to 25% making charges which go into making of jewelry, so you're not really getting the best value in terms of investment while purchasing physical gold. You can also buy gold coins and do away with that. However, there are other issues now. So you will end up paying a 3% GST when you purchase gold, which is a direct expense to you. It's not going to come to you as a discount or a benefit. That's one cost. Second, there is impurity in gold. So when you purchase physical gold, you normally get it up to 22 carat only and not 24 carat. And there's also an illiquidity attached with it, which means that if tomorrow you need money and you take it to a local jeweler, the jeweler will first run some purity tests on it and then say, okay, basis today's price and some deductions and whatnot, this is what you'll get. This is not the most optimum way to be invested in gold as an asset class. So in my opinion, the best way to invest in gold is through some financial assets. Now, what are these financial assets which are backed by gold? Either you can invest in gold mutual funds and gold ETFs, exchange traded funds. We'll put them in one category. So what are the costs associated with it? How can you buy it? You can purchase your local broker. If you're investing through Zerodha Agro or any of these apps, you can invest in gold mutual funds and ETFs. There will of course be a brokerage attached to it. There will be some kind of management fee attached to these kind of mutual funds, which essentially pool the money and put it in different assets which are invested in gold. So they could be invested in some government, the RBI's gold monetization scheme. They could be invested in some other gold schemes and some other forms of digital gold which is available. That's what they do. So that's one way, of course, but there's capital gain on when you sell it. So we are trying to find a way which can optimize the capital gain. If it can give you a tax break, we're also trying to find if along with the capital appreciation you can get a fixed return on your investment in gold. And these issues are not really taken care of by these gold mutual funds and exchange traded funds. But of course, as I mentioned, there's also a cost associated with management of the fund and the brokerage, which may come to anywhere between 0.5% to say about 2%. So that's one option. The second option available to you is digital gold. Now it's great from the perspective that if you don't really have substantial funds, even if you want to invest just about 100 rupees or 50 rupees in digital gold, you can actually buy digital gold from companies such as MMTC PAMP, which is backed by the government of India. You could buy digital gold on apps like Upstocks. You can buy it from this company called Augmont Gold, Safe Gold. So there are a bunch of these players providing digital gold. You can buy it from these apps. What is the issue there? One, the entry price is very low, so you don't really need to buy a minimum of 1 gram or 10 grams or whatever. So even with 50-100 rupees, you can get in. There is capital gains, of course, at the time of sale on the capital appreciation. There is no fixed return that you get. Plus, there may be a spread of say about 3% on it, and you also end up paying 3% GST, which means your total cost on this transaction may come to about 5-6%. But of course, the problem of impurity of you holding and storing the gold is done away with, and low entry barrier. So that's the second option. Now looking at the third option, you have the sovereign gold bonds, which are released by the RBI. This, according to me, is the best financial asset for you to invest in if you want to invest in gold. Why? Several reasons. So what is this? The RBI every year comes up with several issues, say 5-6 issues of people to apply and purchase the sovereign gold bonds. How can people do that? They can either purchase it through their normal banker, they can purchase it from the post office, but most convenient method, of course, to do it is you can also purchase it through your broker. So If you use any stockbroking app, you can look for SGB issues, which is sovereign gold bonds. Whatever new issues are coming in, it'll give you the dates of when you can buy it. Any individual can buy a minimum of 1 gram of gold and a maximum of up to 4 kg, which means your entry into it, or the minimum investment you will have to make, would be the price of 1 gram of gold, which say would be roughly close to whatever 5,000 rupees. It could be less than that, more than that, but a benchmark is 5,000 rupees. That would be the minimum investment you would have to make. Now, if you purchase it online through online mode, which is by not going through your banker, if you purchase it through your banker through net banking, or you do it through your demat account through your broker, you will get a discount of 50 rupees per gram. So essentially there is no cost incurred by you. You're actually getting a discount of 50 rupees by purchasing it online. More importantly, apart from the capital gain on the gold, you will also get an annual return of 2.5%. So that's a guaranteed 2.5 return, 2.5% through simple interest, paid out semi-annually. So every 6 months you will get this interest in addition to the capital gain that you make on this. Now, this RBI security is also backed or guaranteed by the government of India. What are the other benefits? So you also end up saving tax. If you hold this bond or this security for a total of 8 years up to maturity, after which RBI will redeem it for you, the entire capital gain on this thing will be tax free. So the entire long-term capital gain will be tax free after 8 years. It may also be tax free after 5 years if you hold it for a minimum 5-year period and then you redeem it through the RBI through one of their redemption schemes of the bonds. It can still be tax free. However, if you feel that you want to sell it before that because you need funds and you need to liquidate these investments, you can sell it in the secondary market as you normally sell shares. So you can go to your stockbroking app and you can just sell your SGBs which are held in your demat account. So you will need a demat account for this. You may not need a demat account for digital gold. You would need this, or you may not need a demat account for your gold mutual funds, but you will need it for this. So you can sell it in the secondary market also, in which case the capital gain would be taxable if you're not holding it for the entire period. Now, so what is the kind of benefit you made on it? One, you're getting a fixed return. Instead of any charges, you're getting a discount if you purchase it online. You're getting exemption from capital gain. In addition to that, you can also give these bonds to a banker to take loan if at all there's ever a requirement. Now, according to me, as I mentioned, SGBs are the best way for you to purchase it. The price will be given at the time of the issue. You can and you may, in a high probability, get it for an even lower price. How? If you purchase it in the secondary market. So what happens is, when say the RBI issues this, and in the next issue the price is about 49,000 per for 10 grams of gold. Now there are people who bought it in the previous issue but now are selling it in the secondary market because they need to liquidate those assets and need funds. There is a possibility that if in the issue you're getting it for 49,000 at the price, in the secondary market you may get it 500 rupees cheaper or 1,000 rupees cheaper, depending on who's selling it and the time at which you may find this deal. So in the secondary market you can actually get it cheaper. So there are a bunch of these benefits over and above all these other financial assets which invest in gold. What is the return that people get on gold? Some people tend to feel that this is an asset class that women tend to invest in, and it's not as aggressive an investment in terms of return. Quite honestly, I've seen even among my clients, women are prone to be less risk loving. Don't mean to say that women don't invest in equities, but in comparison to men, I've mostly seen basis the data available with me that women are more risk averse. Women are more risk averse, and they tend to invest in FDs and gold. This is a great option. The return that you may get, so the past 10-year return on gold has been roughly about 9.5%, and even in the future I think it may continue to be anywhere between 8 to 10% linked to inflation in the country. So accordingly, bottom line is, be invested in gold for diversification. Continue to invest in equities, but this is a good place for you to diversify. 8 to 10% return in the future also expected. Best way to do it is through SGBs. Share it with everyone because everyone needs this.